There we are. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Sklarantine Comedy Hour. Thank you, JFL, for helping to put this on.
We got words across your face.
I got a lot of great friends. I got a really big team. They want some really nice things. They want some really big rings, and they want to come with no strings.
We got a great show for you guys. Thank you, JFL, for letting us bring comedy to you. You can't go out and see comedy. That's one of our biggest right now among lots of people dying, which is, of course, the worst thing. We're not allowed to die on stage.
That's unfair.
So we are sad about that, but we are happy about this little pocket we have on Friday nights to bring you some of our favorite comedians from all over the world.
Yes.
In this show, we're the Sklar Brothers. We are your hosts. We have been traversing through this crazy pandemic along with you. We're trying to find voices of reason wherever we can.
Just found this week one of the weirdest voices of reason ever, and it came from the Steakums Twitter page.
So Steakum, if you're watching this internationally, I'm sure every country has a Steakum. It's imitation meat.
Yeah, it's not real.
It comes in a rectangle.
Right.
It's spam, essentially, but Steakum just separated itself from spam.
Well, just go ahead and say this is what Steakum just started tweeting. Someone either had a renaissance or read what Steakum was tweeting.
This came from the official Twitter feed of Steakum. Friendly reminder in times of uncertainty and misinformation. What?
I can't believe Steakum is coming hard with that.
They're calling people out
They're
right
ready
now.
to go.
Anecdotes are not data.
That's true.
Something our president has never said.
That's more true than anything he said at a press conference.
Good, in parentheses, data is carefully measured and collected information based on a range of subject-dependent factors, including but not limited to controlled variables, meta-analysis, and randomization.
What is Steakums doing right now?
Holy shit, Steakums.
I love that Steakums is, to me, this now is going to open the door for many other artificial food companies to just start speaking their truth.
Blow the doors open on big issues.
Cheese Whiz, maybe he's going to start to tell
what
you
is and what isn't fake news.
There you go. Because Cheese Whiz is like, we know what's authentic and what isn't.
We're barely cheese.
We're not even cheese.
And we don't know. We're going to admit it.
We can sniff it out.
Thank you.
How about Lunchables blowing the top off of campaign finance reform?
I'd like to see that.
Okay. Hey, you know what's baloney? People taking campaign contributions from Russian oligarchs.
You know what isn't baloney? The meat that's in our Lunchables.
There you go. Four Loko.
Four Loko, which is a crazy alcoholic beverage.
Four Loko could just
be like a drunk tweet.
Yeah. Four Loko's like, hey, man.
Hey, look here.
We might even have people be able to get a guy pregnant. But we're not telling you that you're flattening the curb.
They know what's up. Randy coughing. He can't even handle it. That's something we're trying to listen to. Voices of Reason. Steakum. Steakum is an oasis in a desert full of lies.
Yeah.
Steakum,
you are truthful, and I appreciate if you're watching this right now. Everybody's wearing masks now. We wore masks over here. And it just got us thinking that if Johnny Carson were around today,
of course, we have to plug this in every once in a while,
and doing the monologue that he would also,
or if the coronavirus came along during Johnny Carson's reign in the early 80s.
Johnny Carson, that is, everybody's wearing a mask.
They are. I did
just dueling Johnny Carson. Everyone is wearing a mask.
I didn't know that.
I just saw this the other day. I don't know if you saw this. Jason Voorhees was caught wearing a mask over his mask.
That is weird.
It's bizarre.
That is. Was it on Friday?
It was actually on Saturday.
Saturday the 14th.
So what else? We're cleaning out. Everyone's like cleaning out their houses and doing what they can to sort of reduce the clutter. I cleaned out all the bookshelves from my oldest daughter. She's 14. She's in high school. I cleaned out all the books from the books that she wasn't reading anymore. These are books that we read to her when she was little kids. And what we realized is the books we read to our kids when they were little
are terrible books.
And you don't care.
Because you're using those books just to get your kids to go to sleep. That's all you want. Just get them down.
Get them down.
Because when you have little kids, that's all you're doing. As a parent, if you have a 2-year-old, all you're doing all day long, and probably right now during the coronavirus, is
get her down.
Get them down.
Put her down.
Put her down.
Put her down like she's a horse with a broken leg.
Put her down.
Put her down. Just woke up 20 minutes ago.
Put her down.
It's crazy, Jay. There was a whole shelf full of fairy tales. I don't know if you've read a fairy tale recently, but Fairy tales are wildly inappropriate stories for kids.
And they're, by the way, crazy stories.
Yeah, fairy tales read like police blotter in the state of Florida. Like
I think it's blotters.
Blotters in the state of Florida. If you were to put the phrase a Florida man or a Florida woman in front of the plot of a fairy tale, totally works.
Totally works. Florida woman breaks into a house, eats their food, breaks a chair, and then is found passed out in the kid's bed? That's Goldilocks meth in Tampa Bay.
Florida man kisses a dead woman, then tries to marry her.
What is that?
That is ecstasy in Orlando.
Florida woman lures 2 children to her house using breadcrumbs with hopes of eating their faces off. That is bath salts in Pensacola.
Florida woman gets a DUI for trying to drive a pumpkin. That's everywhere in Florida
All the time.
all the time.
Although it is kind of fun to think of Cinderella as a Florida woman being pulled over by the cops at 12:10 a.m. that fateful
The
night.
cops would be like, ma'am, just please get down from the pumpkin.
You gotta get down from the
You gotta
pumpkin.
get down, ma'am.
Get down, man.
She's like, these mice were horses 10 minutes ago. Sure they were, ma'am.
Sure they were.
Ma'am, where's your other shoe?
Where's your other stripper shoe, ma'am?
Where's the glass slipper, ma'am? Oh, it's in the palace.
Oh,
With the prince.
okay.
Yeah, the only prints you're going to be dealing with are some fingerprints down at the station. Let's
Come on.
go.
We'll call your evil stepsisters.
Yeah.
All right, that's a little bit to get you rolling. I think you're warmed up. People are joining this thing. People are watching it online. We encourage you to tell friends, bring them on in. This is a comedy show. Our first act, I'm very excited about these.
Met these guys in Montreal. First of all, love to see other duos doing their thing.
Yes.
These guys are great storytellers.
I love their energy. They bring such good, hopeful energy to this world, and they're hilarious comedians.
And their situation itself, by its very nature, is funny. I'm so excited to have them on the show. Would you please welcome, if they're there, the El Solomons?
El Solomons, are you there?
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, you guys. We're big fans of yours. We've only been doing this duo for a little while. I mean, it's fun to watch you guys because you look like you find each other funny.
Yeah.
Which we don't necessarily. It's there's a lot more tension, a lot more marital strife, I guess, in the duo.
Before you even start, can I just say something? I love that the Jewish one of the two of you is pushing the Palestinian one into the corner.
You see? That's it.
Thank you.
Give her space. All right.
This is
Sorry, it's a habit.
a state webcam.
It's a possibility to have a 2-state webcam. All right, we want to hear what you have to say. We're back up for it.
So yeah, I guess for those of you guys that don't know us,
we're the El Solomons. I'm Iman Al-Husseini.
I'm Jess Solomon.
And we're a Jewish Palestinian Muslim married couple.
Yeah.
We're very woke.
We're very woke. And I just want to say happy Passover to anyone that's celebrating. Passover is my favorite holiday to bring Iman to, especially because that's where Jews sit around the Seder table and we read the story of how the Jews escaped the Pharaoh while Iman whispers in my ear,
"Let my people go."
I can hear you. We've made so much progress. Why roll it back now? But we did discover we had a Zoom Seder and something. How do I get out of the? I feel like
Do it like
okay.
this.
Yeah.
There we
now
go.
I'm self-conscious that I'm really taking over too much. But a good tip if you want to get out of a Zoom Seder in particular, if we're still in the situation next year, is to say that the story of Moses becoming an Egyptian prince is also part of Islam. And now I'd like to turn it over to my wife, who will read that story from the Quran.
And that's when we started having technical difficulties. And by technical difficulties, I mean we were muted by the family.
That's video off. Yeah, so that's how we got out of that.
We did Passover this year. We actually, very traditional, we escaped the Pharaoh.
Donald Trump, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we came to the Holy Land.
Canada.
So
which is where we are right now. We arrived, we came to this rural area of Quebec where we rented a place, and the guy that rented us this cabin told everyone in this small town that we were coming from New York, and so they were not excited, of course. And it wasn't even this time because I'm an Anglophone and she's an immigrant. So that was new. We're basically like walking viruses coming from the epicenter of New York City. Yes. And we're quarantined here for real. Like we can't go get groceries or anything. So we called the grocery store and we asked them if they would deliver. And they're these very sweet volunteers and they just do it for people that are over 65. But when we said we had come from New York, they were like, don't move, just stay right there. We're sending people, whatever you do, don't infect our town. So So they brought us. We ordered a lot of things, but we ordered a frozen
Pizza.
plain pizza.
Plain pizza, Muslim, Jewish, you know.
Yeah, it was. They brought us pepperoni, which is plain pizza in Quebec. We've been gone too long. I think
know.
that was on us. Yeah,
It's their way of telling us to assimilate. It just reminds me of when I moved to Canada, early 90s, the idea of my French school to introduce a bunch of Muslim kids to Quebec culture was to bring us to La Cabane à Sucre, which is
the sugar shack.
Sugar Shack, which exclusively serves pork.
Or pork.
So when I went home that day, my parents asked me what I did in school. I said that I had bacon and ham and even Jesus Christ's ears.
With Jesus Christ ears.
They're pig ears.
Oh, pig ears. They're called Jesus Christ ears.
They're called les oreilles de Christ. Yeah.
Oreilles de Christ. Yes.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So
you've been living your best life in quarantine.
honestly, I love it so much.
Yeah.
I've been so happy. I'm exercising. I'm baking banana bread. I'm training our new puppy. I'm just it's the best.
No, Spanish. You've been
Learning Spanish,
working out, everything. It's I mean, I can't tell if Iman is thriving because she always hated working, or if it's because she's been through war. Right.
Well, you know what? That's the thing. So speaking of war, my father has been sounding the alarm about the coronavirus since January, and we thought he was exaggerating.
I was like, he's a kook. Yeah.
No, but if you've escaped 2 wars in your lifetime, your disaster DAR is on point.
Yeah.
That's
gaydar about you, not so much, but the disaster dar. that was on. Yeah. I want to say that Iman's gonna come out of this as like a very fit Caesar Milan, I feel like. And we got this puppy, which was incredible that we got a puppy right before this hit. And I feel like a Republican senator that bought Zoom stock in January after like a secret CDC briefing. It's been amazing.
That's it.
What else did we have?
What else did we have?
Yeah.
So I have been living my best life. I got to tell you. So after working out last week, I was working out. Now it sounds like I'm bragging.
You are, yeah.
Finished working out, took a shower, even flossed. I even flossed, you guys. All of a sudden, I noticed a cop car pulling into the driveway. I ran to the door to open the door before he rang the doorbell because I was so excited.
Yeah, he's very attractive.
Yeah.
Was he? I don't know if he was objectively attractive or we haven't seen like another person IRL.
Right.
Yeah, that could be it. I mean, it was very sweet. He brought us some weed. Americans' impression of what Canada is, in New York, I just would fuck with people all the time. I'm like, in Canada, we have paid maternity leave, even if you don't have a baby. And like, oh yeah, for sure. We knew that about you guys. That makes sense, right? Not everyone can have a baby, but everyone deserves a break. And we're hoping AOC will get that for us.
That's the thing about Canadians. We're usually humble people, but with everything going on in America today, we're just like, how you like me now? Bitch, how you like me? We don't say bitch in Canada. I apologize. I'm so sorry. That's not nice.
That was too
I'm
much.
surprised sorry is not in our national anthem.
It should
actually.
be. Yeah. Well, so before this, the beginning, I don't know how much time we're going on for, but you guys give us a light or something.
We're so
give us
happy.
one more gold one, and then we have pitches for you. Give us one more joke, and then we have pitches.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to say that I'm very happy that we could be in quarantine together because we do love each other. And, a lot of things have to come together to find the person that you're going to spend your life with. And so I just want to take this moment to give a shout out to someone who brought us together, and that is Saddam Hussein. Iman was born in Kuwait, and if not for Saddam invading Kuwait, she and her family might have never fled to Canada. We might have never met, fallen in love, and gotten married. So
That's so beautiful.
To Saddam.
She actually included this at her speech in our wedding, by the way.
Yeah, it was appreciated.
That is so funny. You guys are so funny. Thank you for doing this. Can we pitch jokes on top of the jokes you told?
Yes, please.
Please.
All right, so I have a tag. I love that you're working out and making banana bread, which essentially cancels working out.
It's true.
Like if you just didn't make banana bread and you didn't work out, you'd be in better shape.
Right.
So there's
And then I love that you said that your dad's disaster dar is up really high, but his gaydar wasn't so high, which is weird because for him, the gaydar and the disaster dar, when related to you, are exactly the same.
Yes.
It's weird because the fact that you are gay is a disaster.
All right, to him. All right.
Absolutely.
Something like that. You guys are awesome. I'm so glad you have each other and someone to. Are you guys bouncing jokes off each other in this quarantine? Are you like riffing with each other through this time, or just trying?
A little bit, but I think
I don't think we really ever did that.
Yeah. I was gonna say the reason our marriage is surviving the quarantine is because we do not care about each other until bedtime. So it's just
Look at show, fall
That's it.
asleep.
That's the way
like,
to do it.
like most gay couples. All right. I love you guys.
Thank you for doing it.
Thank you. And how can people watch your stuff if they want to see you or follow you or any of that stuff?
You know what? For the Canadians who are tuning in, our special that we filmed at Just for Laughs last year is streaming on Crave, the Al Solomon's Marriage of Convenience.
Yes. And if you don't have Crave, you get it for a month. It's free. Sign up for it. Watch our special and follow us at the Al Solomon's. We have beautiful cartoons illustrated by Jesse Brown on there that we put up regularly.
I love the concept of that. It's born out of the joke of someone said, "Is it a marriage of convenience?" You're like, well, obviously I'm a Jew and she's Palestinian. I'm like, the only factor that you guys should also add into that is the fact that you're both comics. That's probably the worst decision that you made collectively with each other, is to marry another comic, because now we have no plan B. We have no fallback. One of us is or we both die.
That was fun. Thank you so much, you guys.
Okay, we'll see you guys. The
Al Solomon's.
I love it.
Look at that, man. The show's off and running. Those guys are fantastic. Should we move on to our next comic? Let's keep this show
I don't know,
rolling.
who do we have next?
I think is it Tom Papa? If it is, I'm so excited. This is one of our favorite comics.
If it isn't, we're going to be introducing the wrong person.
Which also feels good.
Also fun. It's a comedy show.
I think it's Tom Papa. So if we can get him on in a second, we will. I love their energy, like I said, together. I love how they sort of ping pong off of each other.
Yeah.
I wish there was another comedy duo that had the energy of a close relationship.
Well, they said they're a lot like us. I would just add they have just slightly less sexual energy between them.
Anyway,
that was
Jason Voorhees.
Jason Voorhees wearing a mask over. Mike Myers was jealous.
I saw the unknown comic wearing a mask over his bag.
Okay.
I almost didn't recognize him.
Yes. All right, the show's off and running. Let's see. Do we have Tom Papa? Is he there? If he's not there, okay. There it is. This is why we do this.
Oh my God.
We literally forced Tom to do this. Can we hear you? Hit the microphone.
Hit your mic. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear
I'm only kidding. I'm kidding.
Papa, take it away. You are the best, and we'll just.
I'm kidding. I was pretending to talk,
And then
Thank you.
and you couldn't.
It's quarantine
It's
comedy.
you made Spencer.
Quarantine comedy bits. I miss
made
you guys.
Spencer, who's trying to technically make the show go off without a hitch. And Bruce Hills, you made them have 3 tiny heart attacks. So we thank you for that.
Congratulations on that. I just want to know: is there bread cooking in your oven as you do this set?
Yes, there is. The bread came out a couple hours ago, and now there's new bread that I mixed that is on the counter, and that will be shaped in a little while. I feel like I was into this whole bread baking frontier lifestyle months ago, years ago.
Yes, you were.
You foretold this quarantine, so we're going to let you take it away. Tom Papa will come back on the other side, and we love you, buddy.
I love you too. Don't leave me.
We're
Don't
not leaving.
leave me. The only reason I'm doing this is because it's the two of you. When you contacted me, I was like, "There's no way I'm doing comedy to nobody in my office." And they said, "Well, it's the Sklars." I was like, "Oh, damn it! That means I have to say yes.
Yeah.
There's no way to get out of this. I love these people. Man, this is the hardest part about being a comedian. This and telling jokes when there's no response.
Yeah.
Not only in these Zoom show things that are happening all over the place,
Yeah.
but around my house with my own family, my only audience who's left. There's more delay with my family than there is on any of these Zoom calls. Everybody's getting sick of my food. I keep trying to come up with new stuff, and everybody's just so it's like at this point you could tell me that a pizza was covered in corona and AIDS and swine flu, and I would be like, it's worth a shot. It's worth it. We'll just spray it down a little bit, please. I was in the kitchen and I was eating granola, and my daughter came in and looked at me like I was like the worst like I was strangling her pet cat just from chewing. It's gotten to the level where just my presence. And we just found out in LA that we've got 2 more. They gave us 2 more weeks of this. They just added, we're going deep into May.
Yeah.
And just the joy that the family has right now, knowing they get to be with their father for all this time.
Yep.
So, it's so rough.
Yeah.
Really rough. I don't like that people have infiltrated the neighborhood. I don't know how you guys feel, but as comedians, we had this whole neighborhood to ourselves during the day.
Yeah.
There were no people around. And if I wanted to go work out, I would put on my little running trunks and go out there with my man boobs and just do like go a mile in like 2.5 hours. And now, because all the gyms are closed, my streets are filled with athletes.
Yeah.
Real men running really fast and women in yoga pants just flying by. I have never felt fatter in my life. Oh, so sad. How are you guys handling the food and the drinking?
The food part, what I love is like you felt so sad from not running, and then you went back in and baked another bread to eat.
Yeah.
With these, yeah. No, it's hard. It's like making my kids food. I could work super hard on something for hours and hours and hours, or throw pizza pockets into the microwave for 30 seconds and get the same response. So I'm like, why am I even trying? What am I doing?
I know, exactly. I'm on the New York Times cooking app. I'm finding these different turns in pasta. No, 1 box of Fruit Loops.
And that's lunch and dinner. That's lunch and dinner.
I know. I still feel like we should sit down and have dinner like we would during school time, just so we can sit and connect. But they don't want to do that so much anymore.
I mean, it is the way you described it. It is like you're married to your whole family, because there's that point where you're like, kids become your wife and your spouse when you spend this much time together, where you're just standing there and you're eating the granola, and they come in, they're like, will you stop breathing? Stop breathing. You're like, or you turn it on them. Like I've turned on them. Like my son's been like, Dad, and I'm like, what? And he's like, I want to say that I love you. And I'm like, oh.
We also have a new rule in the house that if you're looking at your phone for more than 3 minutes, you have to say out loud what you're looking at.
Oh.
Because the idea, like when somebody starts looking, ooh, it's like, oh no, what have you learned?
You have to tell them.
No, it's just LeBron James on TikTok. It's just really, really funny.
It's amazing.
I feel like as an artist, if I can get out of this without making a TikTok, I will have some credibility. I feel like if I cannot make a TikTok, I will be at like Mark Twain, John Updike level coming back into the world.
TikTok is it starts with it like one person does it, and then the next thing you know, like a handful of people are doing it, and then it spreads to other pockets. There's no way to stop it.
Yeah,
There's no way to there's no way to test if you're gonna do a TikTok either.
Yeah.
I'm really against the whole family Zoom meetups also. Look, I live in California, you live in New Jersey and New York, and we see each other on the holidays, and every couple of weeks we do a phone call. Just because there's an epidemic doesn't mean I have to spend my cocktail hour with 12 people from my family trying to talk at the same time.
Yeah. Or not knowing how it works. You gotta put the camera, you gotta put the microphone.
Or you can't have a conversation with him unless you mute yourself. Now we all have to listen to your stupid conversation.
Oh, it's the worst. Yeah, my mother is, this is great. This is so much fun seeing all of you at the same time. This is, when the epidemic's over, we should keep doing more of this.
No,
I've never been so up your nose, Mom. Never in my life.
It's so weird to be in an epidemic, wearing masks and gloves, doing all the things so everybody's safe, and then wish your own parents would die in the middle of a Zoom call.
It's great.
Such a conflicting relationship.
Yeah. This Zoom brings it out in you.
Zoom brings it all to the surface.
Where are you guys right now? Is this your podcast office?
No, this is my wife's office. She's the only one who comes in here, and so I get a chance to be in here, and so it's sterile. No one has been in here, and I mean, we've tried to stay apart from each other, but we're still doing what we do. We're linked. We're tied. And you're still doing Are you still doing your show? You have a setup there where you can
for Netflix
for the
we do the radio show every day, and I'm sure you'll get a call to do that soon. I'm here, and then Fortune is in her location, and we do it, and we get great guests because we're not doing it early in the morning anymore, and everyone's home.
Yeah.
So you do my radio show, I'll do this with you guys, then I'll go on your podcast, and then I'll have you talk to my wife, and then you can watch my kids, and then you can ultimately, we're going to end up on a Zoom call with everyone in our family.
Dear God. I'm talking your mom down off of something in New Jersey. Just let your cousin, please let him go to camp.
Somebody call him. Somebody tell him not to go.
Oh God.
Awesome, man. Thank you for doing this. We love you so much. And everyone should please tell everyone who's watching this what your radio show is so people can tune in, or a podcast, and please let them know.
We do the Netflix radio show. It's on Sirius XM channel 93. It's the Netflix channel. It's called What a Joke with Papa and Fortune. And Sirius XM has free Sirius XM without signing up for any kind of commitment for 3 months. They're giving you free Sirius XM if you just go to their site, and then you can get it on the app, and you can listen to it when you're in your closet hiding from your family.
Yes, it's the best.
It is the best.
It's
Great
such
show.
A good show.
So fun to do, and I listen to it as well. You guys are such good interviewers, and of course, so much fun. And I mean, we love Fortune too. We had her on our podcast, and she's just
I would say that that show is the funniest show that also talks about the craft of comedy. Like, as far as a show that gets inside of comedy, it also is the most entertaining of that type of show that I've heard.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And as soon as the things are open again, you got to come back in the studio, and I will squeeze both of you and deep throat both of you.
Yes. Cannot wait. Bring us some bread. Tom Papa, everybody, thanks for joining us, man. We're fantastic.
The best.
Look at Tom Papa cracking us up about his family. I love it. And he said he didn't have any jokes.
You do have jokes.
You had jokes, Tom Papa.
You have jokes like you have granola. We want to hear all of it.
Just the look of disdain and anger from his daughter while all he's doing is eating granola.
He's not bothering anyone. He's
just eating granola. It's not the last granola bar.
No.
I love him. All right. We're going to keep this show rolling because we're moving fast. It's already 5:30 our time, 8:30 East Coast time. Hope you guys are feeling good at home, wherever you are. This next comic is someone who we bring on the road with us. We are such a huge fan of hers. It's actually a challenge for us to bring her on the road
because there are times, many times,
where Randy and I are standing backstage when she's on stage. This is the highest compliment we can give our next guest. We're standing backstage and she's on stage, and we literally look at each other and we're like, we can't follow this.
Way to go.
We cannot follow this.
Way to go, Amy.
So if Amy Miller's there, we're going to bring her on because we are such big fans of her. We miss you. We miss you. I wish we were on the road with you right now, but we're going to send you out into this
virtual comedy show.
I miss you guys so much too. Wait, so Tom's never deep throated you guys? Has he?
No,
not been on the road with you guys at all, or?
No.
I just thought that was like part of it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Your comedy, and then yeah.
All right, Amy Miller, everybody, she's the best. Go take it away, girl.
Thank you, guys. I'm excited to see you again. I'm also just like, what a gift to have on a bra and makeup again. Don't you just miss it? I mean, do you guys ever do something literally every day for like 20 years and then don't for 3 weeks and then wonder what the fuck was wrong with you? Like, why? I hate this right now. I am liking the like sit down comedy. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mark Maron's going to have a lot of competition when we're all back. Never standing up again or wearing pants. It's just a better way to do stand-up, I think. Okay, this is a worry that I had today. I'm kind of worried that like the quarantine will set back the Me Too movement, which like as a woman in comedy, I've been so grateful for, of course. But I also headline, and I'm just worried that like when I get back, I'm gonna be so happy to like see other comics. I'm gonna be honking some dongs, and like you can't do that. You can't honk dongs when people don't want their dong honked. It's not okay, and I know that like logically, I know what the movement says, but like I'm just worried. Like we all need touch, you know what I mean? And I'm just like worried that. Now when I meet people who are opening for me, that I'm going to be like, you know, saying shit like, come give mama a kiss on the nipple. And just, it's not okay. Like when the server, God bless our comedy club servers, right? But like when they come into the green room, you can't be like, yeah, I'll take a cider ranch and a scoop of your nuts. It's not good. And I'm going to be in trouble. I'll be canceled in a month of comedy being back. And that's pretty exciting. Okay. Oh, speaking of comedy clubs, I'm just going to read this list of clubs that I hope don't make it back. Just kidding. I'm not doing that. I love work. I would literally work anywhere right now. I would truly go on the road with Louis, 6 to 10 feet away, not for coronavirus, just for the splash zone. Cum jokes too early. Oh, you know what's so funny is like right before this happened, I went on a solo trip to the desert because I wanted to just be inside a cabin and like watch movies and read. So fucking stupid. I spent money on that. And I did a solo vacation, which I don't know if you guys have been on solo vacations, but I got a cabin in the desert. Oops, forgot I was a woman. Very scary. Don't do that. Turned into a 3-day panic attack for me. Partially because I showed up to this like Airbnb cabin, right? And I meet this guy. This guy greets me. His name's Frank. He's holding a Bud Light. He has 4 teeth. I'm not going to tell you guys where. They were all on the bottom. You don't see that very much. Frank is the owner of the cabin, and he's like, hey, you know, this is where you park. He's showing me around. And then he goes, just a little quirk about the cabin, just a little quirk. It doesn't lock. The doors don't lock. So, like, when you're in there, it's not going to be locked. And then when you leave, like, your stuff's going to be in there. And I was like, a fucking quirk, Frank? Like, is it a quirk that you have, like, shovels and rope in the back of your truck? Like, you want to go on a quirky hike with me? I don't. I felt so uncomfortable. And I think because I was so scared, I ended up like sleeping with all of my devices, like Kindle, laptop, phone, vibrator. You guys know how
all the
patient goes. Like I literally went to sleep in a murder shack and woke up in a Radio Shack. It's not. And when I left, I only stayed one night because I was so scared. And I left, and I left a nice Airbnb review. Of course, I'm not an asshole. I don't want Frank to lose his business just because he has a murder cabin. So I left a very favorable review, and then he left me a negative review, and he said she should have told me she was leaving early so that I could lock the gate behind her. Oh, so you've heard of locks now, Frank. That's interesting. That's interesting. How have you guys been doing with your kids in quarantine? Like, that seems impossible.
It's super hard. By the way, I have to pitch you a joke.
So do I.
Because I love that story. I have not heard it, and we've been traveling on the road with you. I love all this new stuff. My joke is he shouldn't have to lose his cabin when he's already lost so many teeth.
Okay, yeah, I'll try that.
And also, my vibrator is the only one of my devices that gets 5G. 5G, not 5G.
Yeah.
It's
hard.
And going to a cabin to spend some time alone before all of this is like going to get your car washed before the world comes to an end.
Yeah.
Or masturbating right as you're driving to see a hooker.
Yeah, I've never been in that one. Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine like having kids in quarantine. Like, God bless you guys. Like,
good.
I like start drinking at 5 p.m. now. Like, if I had kids, I would literally be actively making another comedian. I don't think that's something that we need. Should I tell one more joke?
Tell one more joke.
Yeah.
You're the best.
Well, this is so psychotically for like 3 weeks. I was maybe the only person in coronavirus quarantine on a diet. Because last month, I don't know, I lost like 15 pounds. Don't worry, it's coming back. Because I just had to like dial it back. Like, I don't care about like numbers or whatever. Like, I like myself, but I just was living crazy. I mean, you guys have been on the road with me. Who eats wings before they're set? It's not a good idea. Around like mid-December, I was like, I gotta dial it back a little bit. And this is what happened. I went to the grocery store with my sweet boyfriend, and we got like a block of cheese, like good, like jalapeno, cilantro, like nice cheese. Mm-hmm. And get it home. He goes to sleep at a normal hour. I'm up till 4 because I'm do this. And the next day he's like, what happened to that block of cheese? And I was like, why are you asking me so many questions? Are you fucking cheese cops? Like, what do you want? It's gone. It's totally gone. I ate a block of cheese in one evening. And he did not food shame me. He would never do that. Like, he thinks I'm perfect. He's sick. But what he did was so much sadder because he just goes, I just wanted to try a little. And I'm like, well, you know where they sell it. So fucking march your skin across the street and get us another one because mama is hungry.
Mama needs.
Yeah. And today, like, I just ordered this exercise bike because we're trapped in here.
Yep.
Truly the opposite of that Peloton commercial because, like, I ordered my own bike and then I was like, and he's like, you're perfect. And then I was like, can you just put this together for me? Because I'm too tired. So he literally assembled a bike for me today.
Nice. That's amazing.
So should I tell one real joke or I'm done? I don't know.
Tell one last real joke.
Okay.
Give us one more.
So I don't have kids in quarantine because I chose not to have children on purpose, but not for like, not because I'm like, I want to travel. Like, I don't have kids because they come out of your body and turn into people. And I don't know if you guys have seen People today on the internet or anywhere, but how many did you see and how many were you like, that's a good one? But I'm an aunt and I love that. And I have a niece who's 6, and every time I go home, she like makes a point of telling me that she's still not sure if I'm a grown up or a kid.
Mhm.
And I asked her why, and she was like, well, you definitely look like a grown up. All right, little cunty. Not the answer I wanted. Trying to get acting roles. She said, you definitely look like a grown up, but you're just not like awake in the morning when grown ups are awake. And I'm like, if I'm not a grown up, why'd they let me have all those adult beverages last night, you little bitch? Get out of my room. I mean, yeah, I know it's your room, but I'm staying here for a couple weeks, okay? Oh, thanks, guys.
Oh man, Amy Miller, you are the best. Tell people how they can follow you on the Twitters and Instagram. You're a great follow. Get your album.
Oh, thanks. Yes, this has been so fun. And I'm so glad that two of my good friends could come to my first New Faces audition. Been hard to figure out how to get those. Follow me at Amy Miller on Twitter and Amy Miller Comedy on Instagram. Thanks.
You're the best. I can't wait to do the road again with you. You are actually, in addition to being an amazing comic, so much fun to hang out with. And
you give us great jokes.
You give us great tags. We give each other great tags. That's
and I kill at skee ball.
Yes.
Crush me at skee ball. I couldn't even stand in there.
All right, Amy. Thank you. Love you, girl.
Love you.
All right. Amy Miller. This is a great comedy show. All you at home who are watching this, we are loving doing this to you because these are friends. We ended up with us. Yeah, so we have our own, within our last Comic Con, Rennie and I have a daily podcast called Chicago Country and Irish Vacation. We just launched a YouTube page called Chicago Country. You can join us right now at youtube.com. Chicago Country. We are at Star Brothers on Instagram, where there's a link to our YouTube page, at Star Brothers on Twitter. Follow us, subscribe, all that stuff. We'd love to see you on there. And we have loved getting to do this show. And as much as because, we're not performing for real comedy fans, we miss the roast, that interaction, and that this is kind of close. It's giving us a reason to this next guy, I'm going to tell you how much I've been loving. A reason to wake up at noon. Thank you. This next comic and our last comic on the show is someone we love to see, someone we've worked with before on the TV show Those Who Can't, and someone who my son is becoming an enormous fan of because he's watching all the new Mystery Science Theater 3000s from the Netflix series. Would you please welcome, if he's there, Baron Vaughn. Are you there, Baron? Baron.
Hey.
Yes!
Take it
Good
away.
to see you guys. How you feeling?
We're feeling all right, man. How are you with two little ones?
Yeah. Well, they're running up the walls, a little bit. They're going crazy. I mean, a friend of ours came over today, who is a photographer that is doing a series of people through their windows.
Okay.
And yes, exactly. Like quarantine life kind of photo series.
Quarantine stalker.
And, what do you say?
Quarantine stalker. Yes, we got it.
Yes.
Peeping Tom.
And my oldest he hasn't seen another person besides, us for a while. So he was just like, hey, he was just like going so hyper, just wanting to see somebody else. He misses all his little friends and stuff like that, as do I.
Yeah, all your little friends.
Yes, I miss his little friends, the ones that occupy him.
That's weird.
Occupy him so that way I can do other things.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's what I mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me think. Parenting. I mean, I'm a double dad, 2 kids. I believe both of you have 2 children, right?
Yes.
You're double dads. I mean, it's kind of amazing. The oldest one is he's 2, going to be 3 in a couple of months. And toddlers hate going to sleep, as you guys know. They hate it because they're new. They're not tired yet. And they fight me. Like trying to put a toddler to sleep is like trying to put a cape on James Brown. Like they do not want it. Don't want it. It's the same thing I'm thinking that the guy who's trying to put a cape on James Brown's like, all right, you've been singing and dancing for 9.5 hours. It's time. What the hell? Doesn't he know he needs a nap? Stop doing the splits. Get up. All right, that's where it gets dumb. We do have 2 kids. Neither were planned. You're welcome, world. That's what we did. Our birth control was the rhythm method. And as the great philosopher Gloria Estefan once said, the rhythm is going to get you. Tonight, twice, she called it. Yeah, it's interesting being a dad when I didn't have one. My father left before I was born, so I don't have a model, of how to be a dad. And it turns out like a big part of it is showing up, like literally every day. Every day my son wakes up and he's like, "Oh, you're still here." I'm like, "Yep, you want pancakes?" And a bond is being formed.
Yes.
Pretty amazing. I did meet my dad a couple years ago in a park in Albuquerque, New Mexico, because that's where you go to do that. And I was just standing next to the jungle gyms just thinking, remember when we never came here? The dude shows up with my face and then we hug and now we text, which is pretty amazing. And when I came back to LA and I was telling people, they're like, well, what did you guys talk about? Did you have anything in common? Like, did you get along? And I'm like, yeah, we had so much in common right away. Like, for instance, I'm an actor and I'm a comedian, right? And my father acted like I didn't exist for 36 years. And that is a Daniel Day-Lewis level of commitment. Talk about dedication apart. He was very method with, I don't have a child. And then he nailed it, which is why I stood up and applauded when I saw him. I was like, that was the role of my lifetime. Trying to start with all the darker stuff. I have been thinking about my family a lot, and that is a big thing that happens, I think, when you become a parent. You literally, like the moment my son was born, my first thought was like, it literally just is not only about me anymore. It's like it's not about me anymore. I gotta take care of somebody and teach them how to be, hopefully a good person. So I'm thinking about a lot of the lessons I received, from my family when I was growing up. And I miss my grandma. My grandma was a very important woman in my life. And the thing I guess I missed the most about her was her pitch perfect impersonation of a goose. She had a perfect impersonation of a goose. She would do it anytime I called her. I'd just be like, "Grandma." And she'd be like, "Huh?" You know what? Never mind. I got what I needed. So stupid. I love that comedy is becoming like a dramatic monologue. Like it's just
we're laughing, so
We're
hard,
dying.
we're losing it.
I love it. I love that's what's the best part about this is that you guys are actually there to support my dreams.
Oh man, it's so funny. Keep it going.
Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going. Okay. Let me think. What's another thing I want to do? Oh, this is, it's interesting because I do believe this is the apocalypse. And I don't think about the apocalypse like it's one giant event. Like I think there's apocalypses that happen over and over again. Apocalypse just means revelation, right? So shit's being revealed, like a mofo right now. Obviously, what's being revealed is how broken everything we thought worked was. And so it's kind of like a gas leak of society feel. That's sort of like, it's a very chill, casual apocalypse where we're just kind of all like, do you smell something strange? And then one day we don't wake up. Too true. But I was thinking I had an example of how to deal with the apocalypse a couple years ago when that missile scare happened in Hawaii. A lot of people forgot this because news cycles, but I'll remind you, everyone in Hawaii was having a good time because it's Hawaii. And then they all get an emergency message that says a nuclear missile is coming. This is not a test. Seek shelter immediately, right? They're freaking out. Found out it was a false alarm 38 minutes later. And now 38 minutes has become my new favorite measurement of time because it seems short, but it's enough time to find out who you truly are. Like 38 minutes is a face yourself amount of time. And I saw this article that inspired me. I didn't even read the article. The headline was all I needed. It said, missile scare in Hawaii. Some people panic. Others drink whiskey. And I was like, hello, life coach. I don't want to overuse the word hero, but I was saved by this person who clearly knows themselves. They taught me acceptance because they weren't like, I'm going to die. They were like, we're all going to die. Top shelf shit right now, please. Yeah. I'll take a Freud in a glass, clean glass. It is the end. Then Glenn Fittich, then Glenn Livet. Never met a Glenn, time to start Glenn living. You know what I'm talking about. What's that? False alarm. Oh, celebration shot. No. I'm making Jim Beam this time because I didn't think I was going to have to pay before. Let's just say not paying was part of my plan. Okay, that's all I'll say.
Love it, dude. You're so good. First of all, we miss you. You're one of the people who like forms our sort of pastiche of friends who we don't hang out with every day, but that we love to see when we show up at the club. So we miss you. We almost got on the show. We had to push your TV show, which is going to be on Sci-Fi.
Yes.
Can you mention that, or what can you mention for people to let?
Yeah, well, it's called The Great Debate, and it is it's kind of a, it's a panel show, if you will, a game show, in which people kind of debate about nerdy topics. Like if you were a superhero, which universe would you want to live in? The DC universe or the Marvel universe? Stuff like that.
Great, and we
had you guys booked as a guest, but we shut down once. When it comes back, we're doing it. And I was talking to one of the other comics, one of the writers on the show, Andy Wood, we love, who's fantastic. And I was like, "How's the show going?" And as it was going, and he's like, "We're so lucky we have Baron because he is the reason why the show is great." And I was like, "Yep, I see that." So I'm so excited to see that when it comes out. People can follow you, Bar Von Black, BLAQ on Twitter and on Instagram as well, correct? Yes, indeed.
So good. The James Brown, putting the cape on that's the greatest thing ever. And one tag is that, and the greatest thing about my baby is that 50 years ago tonight, he saved Boston.
Oh, wow. That's a deep cut too. You gotta go James for that one.
He saved racist Boston with one performance.
Everybody. Yes, indeed.
Oh my God. So I showed my son the other night, the Blues Brothers. My son's 11. And we watched the Blues Brothers. And when James Brown came on as the preacher and was singing, my son said to me, "He's not an actor, right?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "He's a singer." Like he just knew, like James Brown in a second, was a massive, like bigger than the screen.
Bigger.
It was so freaking cool. That bit is, I'd never heard that bit before. I've never heard you do that bit before.
That's new gold.
That is pure gold.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate that.
Good luck, enjoy, and when the whole thing is over, we'll do your show. We'll hang out and just take care of yourself. We love you, buddy.
All right, love you, Randy, Jason. Good night.
All right, there we go. That's a show. That's how we do it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Just for Laughs, Bruce Hills and Spencer Griffith. Thank you guys so much for putting us on this show and allowing us all of our comics. Amy Miller, Baron Vaughn, Tom Papa, the L. Solomons. We really love that these guys came on and did their stuff. This is what I'm going to recommend to people who are watching the show maybe for the first time, seeing comics you haven't seen for the first time. Dig into their stuff. This is the time. Follow them. Follow what they do. Every single act on here tonight has a depth, and they have a lot of great stuff that they've done, so you can definitely dig into what they're doing. And thank you guys, and we're going to keep doing these. So we'll be back next Friday, same time. We'll have new comics, and we're going to keep doing this until people say stop doing this. So we're the Sklar Brothers. Thank you so much. We're out.